Hi, Gene with today's thought, and today we'll be going to the Middle East. But first, just a little. I've had a couple of comments lately, and I appreciate all comments. I appreciate suggestions, but these were, Gene, get to the point. And I guess it's because people want me to, whatever the subject is in the subject line, they want me to just go right to that subject and talk about it. I do that sometimes, but that is not a promise. So I just want to let everybody know that this is the format is that sometimes I have other things that I need to talk about. They usually relate to the main point, but sometimes they don't. But, if you need me to get right to the point, then as I've told these commenters, this may not be the right vlog for you. But I also have to say, now, most of these videos are, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and sometimes very longer, sometimes very, very short. And, well, if you're my age, and some of the people are my age, and if you're my age and you grew up before the age of the internet and MTV and social media, you have no excuse. You should be able to focus or pay attention to something for 10 minutes, let's say. That should not be too much a burden. Now for you younger people, okay, if you've spent all your time watching TikTok videos, 30-second TikTok videos and thumbing through social media or going on Tinder and going, swiping left and right every 2 seconds. Well, my suggestion for you is put that cell phone down, shut off the computer. And they still make them. You go to the book, there are still bookstores, get a book, read a book, okay? Read something, that's maybe that long. That's going to take you a little while to read and learn to pay attention for more than 10 minutes. I'm just saying that very friendly. And if you think I'm joking, I'm only half joking, because I actually read an article on this that some English teachers these days, they are the ones, when you're in school, they assign you books to read and discuss the books, and they're saying that they're having a problem that the books are too long, okay? The books are too long. So I guess you're going to be deprived, Les Miserables, all the great books that I read, they got more than 10 pages, okay? They're going to take more than 10 minutes of your time. And when you have English teachers actually complaining, they're supposed to love books and want to teach literature, and they're saying that the books are too long. I don't know what's, I'm not, every generation says, the older people says, what's wrong with this younger generation? So just put me at the next on the list. What's wrong with this younger generation? And now I'll get to getting closer to the main point, is that this has to do with the Middle East. I'm going to show you a video from Benjamin Netanyahu, and then I'll have some comments after, but I just have to mention, this may already be old news. I'm recording this the day before you're seeing it, but it looks like I'm seeing more and more news. I read the Israeli papers. There's a couple English language papers, which I recommend to everybody. The Jerusalem Post, the Times of Israel. You can Google them and then put them, bookmark them. But it looks like the Israelis are getting ready to go into Lebanon in force. Looks like they're finally getting ready. There are reports of small units going right now already going into Lebanon. They seem to be reconnaissance units, just gathering intelligence before the main force comes in. But the Israelis have been, it would seem inevitable. They've been taking out the leadership for days and days, weeks, and we all know the grim beeper, the beepers, the exploding walkie-talkies. And somebody had a really great phrase, from the river to the sea. So somebody came up with this phrase, from the liver to the knee, which is, that's about where the pages where they went, when they went off. And it looks like some people were killed, some people were blinded. It looks like there's going to be a little harder to breed that next generation of terrorists for some of these people who were hurt, had a certain part of their anatomy destroyed. But the point about this is, though, that so you have the main leadership taken out, and including Nasrallah himself, the top guy, and then you have the beepers went off. So the beepers, who was hurt by the beepers? The people who were important enough to have beepers in the first place. They're about, Hezbollah says they have 100,000 fighters. I don't know what that is, but tens of thousands anyway. But the beepers, not nearly that number. So now it looks, you may be left with lower level people. You have commanders, people who are taken out and presumably were replaced, but they would be people that would have had maybe less experience, and we'll have to see what happens. As I say, it may be old news by the time you see this, but it looks like they're going to go in. Meanwhile, you have I have to turn my head while I read this headline, but as inevitable as a ground invasion seems, you have and I'm actually looking at Fox News, Business News, the TV screen right now. The Chiron says, report Israel incursion into Lebanon imminent, okay? And then, but you have in the Jerusalem Post, you have this headline, Biden calls on Israel not to enter southern Lebanon. The U.S. pushes diplomacy as Israel considers Lebanon ground operation following Nasrallah's assassination and rising regional tensions. And somebody brought up a very good point. These calls for a ceasefire, for example. Somebody made the point, an Israeli general, I think, or a diplomat, one or the other, or a politician made the point that Hezbollah has been firing rockets into Israel, about almost 9,000 by now for the past years, and the international community and Joe Biden, they only call for a ceasefire when Israel is fighting back. When Israel fights back, then they have to have a ceasefire, and that they're supposed to sit there and just absorb rockets and attacks and terrorism and stabbings and shootings and suicide bombings, I guess, ad infinitum. But that's our administration. I hope it will be gone. And now we'll get to the main point, which is, I'll save my comments for after the video, okay? But this is Benjamin Netanyahu speaking directly to the Iranian people, and here is 7 minutes? Okay, 7 minutes into the video. I hope you paid attention for 7 minutes, okay? I don't think that's too much to ask, but now your wait has been rewarded, and here is Benjamin Netanyahu.
I speak a lot about the leaders of Iran, yet at this pivotal moment, I want to address you, the people of Iran. I want to do so directly, without filters, without middlemen. Every day, you see a regime that subjugates you make fiery speeches about defending Lebanon, defending Gaza. Yet every day, that regime plunges our region deeper into darkness and deeper into war. Every day, their puppets are eliminated. Ask Muhammad Def. Ask Nasrallah. There is nowhere in the Middle East Israel cannot reach. There is nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country. With every passing moment, the regime is bringing you, the noble Persian people, closer to the abyss. The vast majority of Iranians know their regime doesn't care a whit about them. If it did care, if it cared about you, it would stop wasting billions of dollars on futile wars across the Middle East. It would start improving your lives. Imagine if all the vast money the regime wasted on nuclear weapons and foreign wars were invested in your children's education, in improving your health care, in building your nation's infrastructure, water, sewage, all the other things that you need. Imagine that. But you know one simple thing. Iran's tyrants don't care about your future, but you do. When Iran is finally free, and that moment will come a lot sooner than people think, everything will be different. Our two ancient peoples, the Jewish people and the Persian people, will finally be at peace. Our two countries, Israel and Iran, will be at peace. When that day comes, the terror network that the regime built in 5 continents will be bankrupt, dismantled, Iran will thrive as never before. Global investment, massive tourism, brilliant technological innovation based on the tremendous talents that exist inside Iran. Doesn't that sound better than endless poverty, repression, and war? From Qom to Isfahan, from Shiraz to Tabriz, there are tens of millions of good and decent people with thousands of years of history behind them and a brilliant future ahead of them. Don't let a small group of fanatic theocrats crush your hopes and your dreams. You deserve better. Your children deserve better. The entire world deserves better. I know you don't support the rapists and murderers of Hamas and Hezbollah, but your leaders do. You deserve more. The people of Iran should know Israel stands with you. May we together know a future of prosperity and peace.
Okay, that's Benjamin Netanyahu first making it clear that his beef is, that Israel's beef is with the mullahs, the leadership of Iran, not the Iranian people. He notes that the multi-thousand-year history of the Persian people and the Jewish people. We are two ancient peoples. And what he doesn't mention, I don't think too much, is that Iran and Israel were getting along fine under the Shah. It was the same as better than Israel's relationship with Turkey today, with the Islamist leader, President Erdogan. But before that, Turkey was very secular, and the relations between Turkey and Israel were very, very good. But the Iranians, you have to remember, they're not Arabs, they're Persians. And there was always friendly relations. So you have Netanyahu saying that those days can come again. But what caught my attention, why I wanted to show that video, is that he said that Iran will be free, but then he said, that anybody can say that, but he said Iran will be free sooner than you think, which makes me wonder, maybe it doesn't stop with Lebanon. Maybe there are plans beyond that. Maybe once Hezbollah is eliminated as a threat, and Hamas has already been eliminated pretty much as a threat, and there is really nothing, and the Israelis just bombed the crap out of the Houthis again. They shot one missile. I don't know why they don't do the math. All these people were trying to hurt Israel. They fire a rocket at Israel. Israel shoots most of them down. Sometimes one person gets killed or injured, some minor damage, and then Israel retaliates, and dozens or hundreds of people get killed, and very, very much greater damage. The whole port of Hodeidah in Yemen has been totally destroyed, and the oil that was in the storage, that went up in flames. So I don't know why they don't get it, why they're willing to endure all that damage to get just to fire one rocket that gets shot down. It makes you have to really be a fanatic, which was what these people are. But but getting back to the point, and I'll end here, is that I wonder if Netanyahu has something else up his sleeve, something more up his sleeve, when he says that Iran will be free sooner than you think. I am not going to speculate on what that might be. Actually, you could speculate in the comments section below the video, but it looks like big changes are afoot. And that's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Comments, always welcome, including suggestions or urgings to get to the point. Welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.